It's your eternal counterpart. It's in your back pocket, in your purse, in your hands, and against your ear. You use it in your bed, living room, at school, at the gym, all throughout the day, before you go to sleep at night, and first thing when you wake up. I'm talking about your cell phone, of course. Whether it's your iPhone, Samsung, or any other smartphone, there's always someone using their cell phone. But what if your constant companion is dangerous? What if it's hazardous to your health? Evidence is piling up that long-term use of cell phones can lead to tissue damage, tumors, and even brain cancer. Even though there are well over 4 billion people worldwide using cell phones, we're looking at a problem of potentially staggering magnitude. According to Dr. Muhammad Oz in his column How to Avoid Cell Phone Dangers, cell phones expose us to a form of electromagnetic radiation called radiofrequency energy. An analysis of the most rigorous studies found convincing evidence linking the use of handheld phones to brain tumors, especially in users of a decade or longer. The purpose of this paper is to inform and hopefully persuade the general public to slow down their mobile device usage and show the ways it has a negative effect on ourselves and society. With the world full of technological advances, do you think that the amount of time we have our cell phones glued to our hips, that it's worth our health in the long run? Now don't worry, I'm not going to try to persuade you to abandon your constant companion. I still use mine on a regular basis, and I probably always will, but I do hope to persuade you to make one simple change in the way you use your cell phone. A change that will protect your health and could even make the difference between a long life and a premature death. But first, let's look more closely at the health risks posed by cell phones. Cell phones can lead to addiction and cause health-related risks such as cancer. The fascination with technology is more intense in young adults than anyone else of other ages in society. The level of dependence and addiction to cell phones is steadily increasing. For example, in the article The Invisible Addiction: Cell Phone Activities and Addiction Among Male and Female College Students, a large-scale survey of 2,500 U.S. college students found that respondents reported spending 1 hour and 40 minutes daily on Facebook, and 60% of U.S. college students admit that they may be addicted to their cell phone. This increasing dependence on cell phones are quickly replacing the laptop or desktop computer as the preferred method of accessing internet. A full 50% of internet users access the web via their cell phones. This figure has nearly doubled from only 3 years ago in 2011. 77% of 18 to 29-year-olds use their cell phone to access the internet. Now, we will talk about how cell phones are a distraction when driving or being in a vehicle and the negative dangers that come with it. Talking and texting while driving is essentially dangerous to yourself and to other passengers, motorists, and pedestrians in public. You wouldn't want to get that phone call that your daughter, sister, or girlfriend was texting and driving her friends while driving to school or work, would you? As heartbreaking as that is to hear and think about, it's the truth. For example, an article by TeenSafe, 100 Distracted Driving Facts and Statistics for 2018, states, driver distraction is reported to be responsible for more than 58% of teen crashes, and in 2015, 391,000 injuries were caused in distracted driving-related accidents. As a matter of fact, in that same year, distracted driving was cited as a major factor in 3,477 traffic deaths. The protection of children, of course, is another reason why there needs to be limitations of cellular device usage. Limit children's use while their brains are still developing, which make them more vulnerable to any potential harmful effects of RF radiation, says Dr. Muhammad Oz in the March 2010 article of the Oprah magazine, How to Avoid Cell Phone Dangers. The last thing I will discuss is how to dramatically reduce the risk of the dangerous and hazardous effects that cell phones have for society. Setting up some restrictions and limitations for when, where, and how long we use technology each day is the first step to reducing the risk of dangerous and hazardous effects to our health in everyday life. For instance, a certain number of hours a day, just during specific times, and making sure that we keep technology stored at a safe and far enough distance to avoid radiation occurrences. For example, at night, when we're sleeping, we should keep it as far away as possible and not right next to our heads on a headstand or a nightstand or on the bed to charge. Turning off our cell phones and or putting them in drive mode while in the car can be the most simplest and the most effective thing to do on the road. We need to let our dependency levels die down a little bit so we can keep ourselves and other people in the general public and on the roads safe and sound. From personal experience, it is especially bad that most people may have had their phone glued to themselves. As long as a phone is on, it is emitting radiation. This is sort of a problem for me. You see, I love music, and I'm always listening to it. I'm always playing it in the car, when I'm walking somewhere, at home, in the shower, anything. If I don't have headphones, I usually play it on a Bluetooth speaker, very loudly, I might add. This comes hand in hand with the fact that cell phones hinder real human interaction and social skills. As an illustration, Nick Tomasovic says, "Our phones can do so much these days that some people have trouble tearing themselves away long enough to reconnect with the real world. You've likely seen them around town, on public transportation, such as buses, on the roads in their cars, anything like that. Anybody around the world. Everybody is always on their phone. That's how they navigate on the roads. That's how they communicate with people to see where they are. It's how they listen to music. It's how they're on social media. Everything. In stores with their eyes and their fingers glued to their mobile device. Instead of interacting with the people around them, they ignore face-to-face conversation for virtual ones. Since humans are social creatures by nature who need real-life connections, this runs the risk of becoming a huge problem for society. I think that everyone can try to promote human interaction by getting out more, going out into the community, going for coffee, setting up face-to-face talks. Nowadays, I see a lot of people applying for jobs online rather than going into stores and applying just by paper or talking to a manager. Many people nowadays, they apply online and then there's like a text or email that's relevant. I mean, social media and mobile devices and the internet, it's gonna take over the world and we just need to stop it altogether. Thank you.